your English lesson for this week. Okay, so today on our learning journey, we're on lesson 5. So far this week, you've made predictions based on a picture. You have learnt you've described a character using show, not tell. You've written an opening paragraph. And then today we are planning and writing our final quest tale. So today is Friday the 5th of March and your learning objective is to write a quest tale. So pause the video now and write today's date and learning objective and underline these. Okay, fantastic. So today you're going to finish planning and writing your own quest tale based around the picture that you've been looking at this week. So here are some of our signs of success for our writing today. So our writing purpose is to entertain. We're writing a quest tale to entertain Mrs. Emerson and Miss Pierce. Some of the key features that I'm going to be looking for today is really great descriptive writing. So remembering to use those amazing noun phrases in your writing to describe what you can see, what you might be able to feel or touch, what you can hear and what you can smell. I'm looking for a variety of sentence structures, particularly thinking about use of complex sentences, and your challenge is to start your sentences with a subordinate clause. So think about those subordinate conjunctions that you can start your sentences with. I would like you to think about the precise verbs that you're using to describe the action and using some adverbs to modify and change the verbs. And think about how you can start your sentences with different fronted adverbials. We'll have a look at some of these examples later in the lesson. And then another challenge is to use similes in your writing to really help add description and help us imagining with what you're writing. And then remember the basics, your capital letters, correct punctuation, full stops, capital letters, and really think about where those commas might be used in your sentences today. Okay, so earlier this week, you drew a story map to predict what might happen to Puella in this quest story. So you've thought about in detail already who might live in this house, how that person got there, and what might have happened to that person. Why did he or she come to live in this house? Did they always live in this house? Where did they come from? Why is it surrounded by water? Why is it on stilts? So these are the questions that you used earlier this week to help you make your predictions. So what problem does Puella have? What will she do to try and solve it? Where will she travel to? So remember, this is a quest tale. Your character is going to travel somewhere in this story today. What problem will she encounter on her way? And how will the problem be solved? So today, you can either use your story map that you drew earlier in the week to help you with your writing of your story, using the character of Puella and the character that you've already created and wrote a description of, or you can plan another short story based on this picture. So you're either using the story you've already drawn a story map for to plan out what you think the quest is that Puella goes on, or you can create a new story. So it is your choice of what you want to do today. If you're planning a new story, you'll need to spend a bit of time now planning out the sequence in your story. So remember, in a quest story, you're looking for an opening, the description of the setting and the characters. You need a build up in your story where the character sets off on the journey. There'll be a problem in your story where the character faces a problem. For example, they can't find something, they can't get into something, they get chased or they get trapped. And then finally, your ending will be where the problem is solved and the character outcomes and the problem achieves the goal. Okay, so the character overcomes the problem and achieves the goal. So if you're planning a new story, you'll need to pause the video and you can either draw a story map or you can plan out your paragraphs in your book now. Or you might want to now pause the video and look back at your story map that you've already drawn for this story and just remind yourself of what the opening is, what the build-up is, what the problem is, and how the problem is solved in the ending of the story. Okay, so pause the video now and either plan your story or remind yourself of what you're going to be writing in your story today using that character of Huela and the character you created. Okay, brilliant. So well done if you've planned your story. So actually, if you're using the story that you've based on this quest that you've already planned out this week, you've already written the opening of your story. So you won't need to rewrite that today unless you want to write it again and edit it. Of course, if you've planned a new story, you will need to write the opening. So you might be, it might be a good idea to look back at your writing from earlier of the week to help you with that. So now, just before you start your writing of your story, maybe you might want to spend 5 minutes collecting some vocabulary and sentence starter ideas and add these to your plan. So I've put some examples down here on the screen of some sentence starters that you could use in your writing, or some vocabulary you can use in your writing. However, you might want to stop the video and use a dictionary to help you find some better vocabulary choices. Or you might want to look online for some better vocabulary choices to add into your writing today. So add some ideas to your plan now to make your writing really, really exciting. Okay, fantastic. So you've planned your story and you've collected some vocabulary and sentence starters, and now it's time for you to write your story. So if you wanted some support with your writing today, I've put some ideas down here on a writing frame to help you paragraph your writing into the opening of your story, the build up, the problem, and the solution or the ending of the story. So here are some ideas for sentence starters that could help you form your paragraphs. Of course, you don't need to use these, or you could pick and choose one or two and use them as you want in your writing, but make sure your sentences link together really nicely in your paragraph, and make sure when you start a new paragraph, you leave a line to make your paragraphs really clear. So I'll just read through some of the ideas that I've written down, and then you're ready to start your writing. So your opening, some of the sentence starters I thought of were, I've actually taken them from earlier the week, the modelled writing. So jutting out from the depths of the calm, deep river, perched precariously on the rock, in the near distance. And then for the build-up, some sentence starter ideas. Early the next morning, feeling brave and adventurous, trudging through the dense forest. In the distance she could hear. And then for the problem, it had been a long and tiring journey, all of a sudden, without any warning, slumping behind a rock trying to catch her breath. So I wonder what the problem has been and how she's going to overcome this problem. So then the solution and ending. Anxiously she crawled out from hiding. Relieved she continued on her journey until when it was all over. So these ideas are there just to support you with your writing. You can choose to use them, or you could come up with your own sentence starters. So pause the video now and have a go at writing your story. Your quest story. Okay, fantastic. So when you've finished your writing, remember to go back now and read through your story and edit and purple polish your writing, thinking about all of our signs of success that we talked about. So now is your opportunity to improve some of your noun phrases. So remember really fantastic descriptions of the setting and the characters in there. And remember, when you're describing the character, how you've been taught to use show, not tell. Can you edit any of your sentences to start with a subordinate clause, perhaps? And really make sure you've got those basic capital letters and full stops in your writing. So pause the video while you have a go at editing and purple polishing your writing, And then I look forward to reading all your wonderful stories on Dojo later. And if you'd like to share your writing, be ready at today's Zoom checkout meeting to share your writing. Fantastic, Year 4. Have a great day, and we will see you later.